I try to keep it cute, but I can't. Jamal Bryant's wife looked absolutely stunning in that dress. The dress looked beautiful, her shape, everything about it. It was just beautiful, right? But as someone who's supposed to be representing the kingdom of God, it should not have been worn outside of the house. Simple as that. It's literally that simple, y'all. Here's the thing. People be like, oh, well, she wasn't going to church. Oh, well, she wasn't doing da 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 da. We are the church. And wherever we go, we're supposed to be representing God. Therefore, what we wear, how we present ourselves, it matters. She didn't look like she was representing the kingdom of God that day.
And Jamal Bryant, where all that is in the Bible? Okay. I bought the dress. Is that in the Old Testament or the New Testament? She married to me. Is that in Proverbs or Galatians? Which, everything that you said, was that before or after Moses parted the Red Sea?
Tell me what you think. People watched their favorite Atlanta pastor's wife pull up to that fundraising gala looking bold and confident, like she knew all eyes were on her. And the moment those photos hit the internet, the reaction from church folks was intense. People were talking everywhere, breaking down every detail and asking the same question over and over again. Pastor Jamal Bryant quickly stepped in to defend his wife, Dr. Karri, making it clear that what she wore was nobody's concern but his. He basically shut the conversation down, saying the public had no say in their personal choices. But this latest moment has people saying the couple might be testing the limits, almost like they're pushing to see how far things can go before the criticism gets even louder. And Dr. Karri herself doesn't seem to be staying quiet anymore. She's been firing back at critics online, responding to the people who keep coming after her. Meanwhile, the internet has been putting the couple under a microscope, pulling up past moments and old stories, stacking up receipt after receipt. Now, some people are even saying that if Pastor Bryant and Dr. Karri want to live like influencers in the spotlight, then maybe it's time for a serious conversation about whether the pulpit and that lifestyle can really mix. The debate online is getting louder by the minute.
A preacher presented his wife the other day, and I guess you call that a flesh-colored dress. I don't know. It's black dress and flesh color. It gives the illusion that she's not wearing anything underneath. And I heard the preacher, when he defended her dress, by saying, first of all, he bought the dress. And then he said, I want to address people who don't know anything, who haven't been anywhere, who don't know nothing. So I guess our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore. Two. At least two. Now, I didn't say she was. I'm not talking about her. My statement is not about her. My statement is about him. I said he presented his wife, and he said he bought the dress. Those are his words, not mine.
So the drama really kicked off on December 20th, 2025, when Jamal Bryant and his wife, Dr. Karri Turner Bryant, stepped out at the 42nd annual UNCF Mayor's Masked Ball. This was a full black tie event, packed with influential guests, community leaders, and big donors. The entire goal of the night was to raise money for HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, and the students who rely on those schools for opportunity and support. And to be fair, the event itself was a huge success. By the end of the night, organizers had raised around $4 million for the cause. That part was powerful and worth celebrating. But online, people were barely talking about the donations or the guest list. Instead, the internet locked in on Pastor Bryant and Dr. Karri the moment cameras started flashing. The couple arrived dressed for the occasion, looking polished and confident. But when the camera zoomed in, Dr. Karri's dress quickly became the center of attention. She wore a sleek black mermaid-style gown that hugged her figure and stood out under the lights. The skin tone lining underneath blended smoothly with her complexion, and the overall look definitely turned heads the second people saw it. Many people said the outfit looked glamorous and stylish. It was the kind of look you might expect to see on a reality TV star, a celebrity event, or a high-profile influencer shoot. With her makeup, confidence, and the way she carried herself, the entire presentation was eye-catching. But for some church observers, the conversation quickly shifted because of her role as a pastor's wife. That's where the criticism really started. Some people felt the look pushed the boundaries of what they expect from the First Lady of a church. And because Pastor Jamal Bryant leads New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta, the discussion got even louder online. But the outfit wasn't the only thing people brought up. For a while now, some churchgoers have quietly questioned how Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri's relationship originally began. Before their marriage, Dr. Karri served as a co-pastor at New Birth, which meant she worked in leadership under Bryant. Because of that structure, some people felt there was a professional overlap that made the situation complicated when their relationship later became public. Reports and online commentary also brought up old rumors and timelines about when their relationship may have started. Some commentators claimed their connection went back years before it became official, while Bryant was still married to his former wife, Gizelle. Those claims circulated heavily online and eventually became a topic many people in church circles were already aware of. Over time, the conversation around the relationship grew louder. Some critics even claimed Dr. Karri received special attention or opportunities within the church leadership structure. Still, Pastor Jamal and Dr. Karri largely stayed focused on moving forward with their relationship. Eventually, they married and presented their story as a journey that included challenges and obstacles they had to overcome along the way.
Yeah, I think, there is really an unexpected hope that has come with it that I didn't expect that it would ignite in people. And so I think that hope has been for folks who have been married before, divorced before, or just searching for love, true love for the first time that had not found it. We've gotten so many emails and messages and stories of people who have been renewed in their hope of love because of our story and what we've been able to
But this latest moment only made the backlash louder. A lot of followers felt like it confirmed something they have been saying about Pastor Jamal Bryant for years. Critics started arguing that moments like this make him look more like a public entertainer than a traditional pastor, and that perception spread quickly across social media once the photos from the event started circulating. People online were quick to point out that both Jamal and Dr. Karri are very media savvy. They understand how attention works, especially in a world where every public appearance gets photographed, posted, and debated within minutes. Because of that, some commentators questioned whether they truly expected the look to pass quietly, without sparking conversation. From that perspective, some observers believe the reaction was almost predictable. A pastor and his wife showing up to a high-profile event will always attract attention, and when the fashion choice is bold, the internet tends to react even faster. Critics started saying there was no way the couple didn't know the conversation would explode once the pictures started moving online. That idea fueled even more debate. Some people suggested the attention might even benefit them because it keeps their names trending and their platform visible. In today's digital culture, controversy can quickly turn into clicks, interviews, and headlines. Whether that was intentional or not, the situation definitely kept Pastor Bryant and Dr. Karri at the center of public discussion. And for people who have followed Jamal Bryant's career for a long time, this moment didn't feel completely new. Bryant has always been known as a dynamic and energetic speaker who understands how to command a room. His preaching style, public appearances, and strong presence have helped him build a large following over the years. Supporters say that charisma is exactly why so many people connect with his ministry. They view his confidence and bold personality as part of what makes his message impactful. But critics see the same traits differently. Some of them argue that his approach sometimes feels closer to performance than traditional pastoral leadership, and moments like this only add more fuel to that conversation. Over the years, Pastor Bryant has remained a highly visible figure not just in church spaces, but also in broader cultural discussions. He often speaks on social issues, politics, and community matters, which naturally places him in the public spotlight more than many other pastors. That level of visibility means every decision, appearance, or statement can quickly become a topic of public debate. Because of that, situations like the gala appearance tend to grow much bigger than the original moment itself. What started as a fashion conversation quickly turned into a wider discussion about image, leadership, and expectations for public religious figures. People across social media platforms began sharing their opinions, debating whether the criticism was fair or whether the reaction had gone too far. At the end of the day, the moment became another chapter in the ongoing conversation surrounding Pastor Jamal Bryant's public image. Supporters continued to defend him, while critics remained skeptical about the direction his leadership style sometimes takes. Either way, the situation showed just how quickly a single appearance can ignite a huge discussion when a well-known pastor and his wife are involved.
When he bought her the dress and she put it on, they knew the stir that their dress was going to cause, being flesh-colored. But being a minister and a first lady, you're not new to this. And yes, we all know that the dress isn't actually see-through. It is an illusion. I just don't know where the illusion of nudity fits in with being a first lady. I mean, for me, I feel like there's certain things that you don't expect from certain people.
With Dressgate now making headlines everywhere, people have started digging back through Pastor Jamal Bryant's history, bringing up old stories and long-running criticisms that have followed him for years. Online conversations quickly shifted from the gala outfit to bigger questions about leadership, reputation, and the kind of image many expect from a major church figure. Some critics have even gone as far as saying that Jamal Bryant has always operated more like a community personality or public figure than a traditional pastor. Because New Birth Missionary Baptist Church is such a large and visible ministry, every controversy tied to Bryant tends to spark bigger debates about what people believe church leadership should look like in the first place. As those conversations picked up steam, many online commentators started revisiting an old scandal from 2007 that made headlines at the time. Reports circulated that Bryant had been involved in a situation with a woman connected to the church that resulted in a pregnancy. The story spread widely across blogs and media outlets, quickly becoming one of the most talked about controversies surrounding his name. According to those reports and discussions that resurfaced online, there were claims that members of Bryant's circle allegedly tried to resolve the situation privately by offering financial support connected to the pregnancy. When the situation did not quietly disappear, the story continued to circulate publicly and became a major talking point in church and media spaces. Despite the controversy surrounding those allegations, Bryant's career in ministry continued moving forward. Not long after the scandal made headlines, he remained active in leadership within the AME church community in Baltimore. Some commentators later claimed that his father, Bishop John Richard Bryant, who was also a well-known religious leader, may have helped provide guidance and support during that difficult period. Over the years, the situation became part of the larger narrative that critics often reference when discussing Bryant's career. Every time a new controversy appears, those older headlines seem to resurface and get discussed all over again. And according to long-running rumors and online commentary, that wasn't the only situation people pointed to when questioning Bryant's personal history. Some bloggers and commentators have also claimed that during his college years at Morehouse, he reportedly welcomed a child with a woman in Baltimore. Those claims have circulated online for years, though details about the situation have often been debated and discussed without clear confirmation. Stories like that continued spreading across forums, social media pages, and gossip platforms, with some critics suggesting that certain personal matters were kept out of the public spotlight in order to protect Bryant's image as a rising church leader. As those rumors and past reports resurface again during the current controversy, people online are once again debating what they believe is fact, speculation, or simply old gossip being revived during a moment of public attention. Supporters argue that many of these stories have been exaggerated or repeated without full context, while critics claim the patterns deserve closer scrutiny. Either way, with the spotlight back on Jamal Bryant because of the gala situation, the internet has once again turned into a place where past headlines, rumors, and long-standing criticism are being pulled back into the conversation and debated loudly all over again.
I divorced because of my infidelity, not because of irreconcilable differences. but because I broke that covenant. And so I had to go through a healing process for myself on what is it that was in me that would go outside of the bounds of my covenant, my agreement, and to risk my family for somebody I never wanted to be with.
Then another story that people often bring up started making the rounds online again, this time involving Jamal Bryant's former wife, Gizelle Bryant. As the conversation around Dressgate kept growing, social media users began revisiting old claims and rumors connected to their past relationship, adding even more noise to an already heated debate. Some bloggers and online commentators repeated a long-circulating claim suggesting that Gizelle went through an extremely difficult emotional period following the breakdown of their marriage. Over the years, different versions of that story have appeared across blogs and discussion forums, with people speculating about how stressful and public the separation became. However, many of those claims have remained unverified and are often repeated without clear confirmation. Even so, critics say situations like that are part of a larger pattern they believe has surrounded Jamal Bryant's personal life for years. In their view, the pastor has managed to move past multiple controversies without facing the level of accountability they expected from someone leading a major congregation. That perception is exactly why the latest gala moment struck such a nerve for some observers. To them, the situation wasn't just about a dress at a charity event. Instead, they saw it as another example of Bryant continuing to move confidently through public criticism while still maintaining his leadership role in the church. Supporters, on the other hand, strongly disagree with that interpretation. They argue that Bryant has remained transparent about his life, and that many of the stories circulating online are exaggerated or rooted in gossip that has been repeated for years. They also point out that public figures, especially religious leaders, often become targets for rumors that grow larger every time their names trend online. But while the internet continued debating those past stories, Jamal Bryant himself addressed the current controversy head-on during remarks that quickly spread across social media. Standing firmly behind his wife, he made it clear that he had no issue with what she wore to the event. Bryant explained that people criticizing the outfit simply didn't understand the type of formal event they were attending. According to him, the UNCF Mayor's Masked Ball was a high-end black tie fundraiser, and attire like that is common at events attended by public figures, donors, and community leaders. He also made another point that immediately caught people's attention. Bryant stated that he personally purchased the dress for Dr. Karri himself. With that statement, he essentially shut down the idea that she had done something inappropriate on her own. In fact, he went a step further and told critics that if anyone had an issue with the outfit, they should direct their complaints toward him instead. His message was simple and direct. The decision was his, he supported his wife completely, and he wasn't backing down from the criticism. Those remarks quickly spread online, adding even more energy to an already intense debate. Supporters praised him for defending his wife publicly, while critics argued that the response only fueled the controversy further. Either way, the situation kept Jamal Bryant, Dr. Karri, and the gala moment right at the center of the internet's attention.
Secure, jealous, petty, small-minded. People got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, furthermore, I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it.
And here's the part that really has people talking right now. A lot of viewers say it's not just the gala appearance or the dress that caught their attention, it's also the way Jamal Bryant has been speaking about the situation during interviews and public conversations afterward. Some listeners have pointed out that the tone of his responses feels different from what they usually expect to hear from a pastor. Instead of sounding calm and reflective, critics say his comments sometimes come across more like someone pushing back at online critics or defending a public image. Now, to be fair, pastors are still human, and many of them respond strongly when their families are being criticized. But the internet has been replaying certain interview clips and asking a simple question: does the way he's addressing the backlash sound more like a media personality than a church leader? In several interviews, Bryant appeared confident and direct while discussing the controversy. He spoke firmly about standing by his wife and made it clear that he wasn't losing sleep over the criticism online. For his supporters, that kind of loyalty and confidence is exactly what they want to see from a husband defending their partner. But critics say something about the delivery caught their attention. The tone, the phrasing, and the way the conversation unfolded felt more like a debate on a talk show than a moment of pastoral guidance. That difference is what has some viewers raising their eyebrows and replaying those clips again and again. And that's where the conversation online has really taken off. Some people believe Bryant is simply responding to criticism in a modern media environment, where every pastor with a large platform ends up in interviews, podcasts, and viral clips. In that world, communication can sometimes sound sharper or more confrontational than a traditional sermon. Others believe the issue runs deeper than that. They argue that when someone leads a large congregation, the way they speak publicly carries a different kind of responsibility. Because of that, every interview, every comment, and every reaction gets analyzed through the lens of spiritual leadership. So when Bryant responds with strong confidence or pushes back against critics, some viewers interpret it as bold leadership. Others hear it and feel like the tone doesn't quite match the role they expect a pastor to play. That's why these interview moments have become such a big talking point online. People aren't just debating the gala outfit anymore. They're analyzing the language, the attitude, and the overall vibe of how Bryant is handling the backlash in public. And once clips like that start circulating on social media, the conversation grows fast. One interview turns into a viral clip, that clip turns into thousands of comments, and suddenly everyone has an opinion about what they just heard. So now many viewers are saying the same thing. Instead of just reading headlines or reacting to posts, they want to hear the interviews for themselves and decide how they feel about what Jamal Bryant is actually saying.
Did you hear that part? Because that's the moment that really got people reacting online. When the conversation turned to his wife, it became very clear that Dr. Karri Bryant is not losing sleep over what critics are saying about her style or her choices. From the way the situation has unfolded, it looks like she's standing firm and continuing to move with confidence no matter how loud the criticism gets. Social media users quickly picked up on that energy, saying it seems like she has decided she's simply going to keep being herself regardless of what church critics think. And that attitude is exactly what has the internet so divided right now. Some people are applauding her confidence, saying a pastor's wife should not have to shrink her personality or style just to satisfy public expectations. To them, Dr. Karri showing up confidently and refusing to apologize sends a message that women in church leadership can still express themselves. But on the other side of the conversation, critics are saying something very different. They believe that people in certain leadership roles are expected to represent a specific image, especially when they stand beside someone leading a large congregation. From that perspective, the concern isn't just about fashion, it's about what message it sends to members watching from the pews. That's why the phrase, "she's going to keep doing her," has been echoing across comment sections and reaction videos. For supporters, it sounds like independence and self-confidence. For critics, it sounds like ignoring the expectations that often come with being the first lady of a church. And when you look at how Dr. Karri carries herself in photos and public appearances, it's clear that confidence is a big part of her presence. Whether it's the way she dresses, how she poses for pictures, or how she responds online, she appears comfortable standing in her own identity, even when the internet is debating her choices. In today's social media era, that kind of bold energy spreads quickly. One photo leads to thousands of reactions. Then those reactions turn into videos, commentary posts, and debates across multiple platforms. Suddenly, what started as one appearance at a gala becomes a full conversation about image, culture, and expectations. Another thing that has people paying attention is how calm Dr. Karri seems throughout the entire situation. instead of appearing rattled by the criticism, she has continued posting, attending events, and showing up publicly without changing much about her approach. That calm response is exactly what some people interpret as confidence. To them, it looks like someone who refuses to let public pressure dictate how she presents herself. But for critics, the same reaction feels like dismissing the concerns being raised by members of the church community. So the debate keeps growing louder. One side sees a confident woman refusing to let criticism control her life. The other side sees a church leader's spouse pushing past traditional expectations without much concern for the reaction. And with the internet watching every move, it's clear that Dr. Karri Bryant has no plans to disappear from the spotlight anytime soon.
Value of a man. Don't look at his house, don't look at his car, look at his wife. And anybody who looks at my wife will think I'm a billionaire because of the richness of her personality, the wealth of her character, and the span of her beauty.
And the conversation didn't slow down after that moment either. In fact, once those clips and photos started spreading across social media, the debate only got louder and more intense by the hour. Comment sections filled up fast, with people arguing back and forth about whether the backlash was fair or completely overblown. Some supporters jumped in immediately to defend Dr. Karri and Pastor Jamal Bryant. They argued that people were focusing on the wrong thing entirely. In their view, the event was about raising millions of dollars for HBCUs and supporting education, yet the internet seemed more interested in dissecting someone's outfit than celebrating the cause behind the fundraiser. Others pushed back against that argument just as strongly. Critics said the issue wasn't about ignoring the charitable goal of the event. Instead, they felt that when church leaders attend public functions, their image naturally becomes part of the conversation. Because of that, they believe people are going to speak up when something catches their attention. And once the debate started trending, more and more old clips, photos, and past interviews began resurfacing again. Social media users started connecting different moments from the past to the current situation, building long threads explaining why they believe the controversy keeps following Pastor Bryant's name. At the same time, some viewers stepped in to say the internet might be taking things too far. They pointed out that public figures, especially pastors with large platforms, often become easy targets for criticism. According to those voices, once someone's name starts trending, people begin digging for every possible story to attach to the moment. But the reality is that in today's digital world, once a conversation reaches that level of attention, it rarely stays small. Every reaction video, every blog post, and every comment thread adds another layer to the discussion. Soon, the original moment becomes just one piece of a much larger online storm. Another thing that kept the story circulating was how quickly different media outlets picked it up. Blogs, commentary channels, and social media personalities all started sharing their opinions about the situation. Each person added their own perspective, which only made the topic spread even further. Some creators focused on defending the couple and criticizing what they saw as unnecessary judgment. Others leaned into the controversy, analyzing every angle of the situation and questioning whether church culture is changing in front of everyone's eyes. And that bigger question might be the reason the debate refuses to die down. For many people watching this unfold, the conversation is no longer just about one dress or one event. Instead, it has turned into a larger discussion about modern church leadership, public image, and how religious figures navigate life in the age of social media. Because once cameras, interviews, and viral posts enter the picture, every move can quickly become a headline. One outfit becomes a debate, one interview becomes a viral clip, and suddenly the entire internet is weighing in with their opinions. Right now, that's exactly where the situation stands. The conversation keeps evolving, more people keep joining the discussion, and the spotlight around Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant doesn't seem to be fading anytime soon.
The dress on the hanger is one thing. You put the dress on, it's another thing. It brings on a new life.
Sure.
She walks out of the room in the dress.
Yes.
Before the event, was the first time you saw her in the dress?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Why do we need to leave?
And as the discussion kept spreading online, another layer of the conversation started showing up in comment sections and reaction videos everywhere. People began asking a bigger question about the culture surrounding modern churches and public figures who lead them. Some longtime churchgoers said situations like this highlight how much the role of pastors has changed over the years. Decades ago, many pastors lived much more private lives, and their personal style or public appearances rarely became national conversations. But now, with social media, every moment can instantly become public. That shift has created a new kind of pressure. Pastors today are not just preaching on Sundays. Many of them appear in interviews, speak at conferences, run large organizations, and maintain huge online platforms. Because of that visibility, their lives often end up being discussed in the same way celebrities are. And that's exactly what some critics say they are seeing in this situation. They believe the line between ministry and public personality can sometimes start to blur when a pastor becomes widely known outside the church world. Once that happens, every appearance, outfit, or statement becomes something people analyze closely. On the other side of the debate, supporters argue that visibility doesn't automatically mean someone has abandoned their calling. They say pastors can still lead powerful ministries while also navigating modern culture, public events, and media attention. In their view, attending high-profile charity events and being photographed comes with the territory of leading a major organization. That's why the reaction to this situation has been so mixed. One group sees the gala appearance as a normal part of public life for well-known leaders. Another group sees it as a sign that church culture may be drifting too far into the world of celebrity and image. And when debates like that start trending, people bring all kinds of perspectives into the conversation. Some share personal experiences from their own churches. Others compare different pastors and leadership styles, discussing how expectations vary depending on the denomination or community. Meanwhile, clips from interviews and photos from the gala continue circulating across social media platforms. Every time someone reposts them, the discussion starts all over again. New viewers see the story, react to it, and add their own opinions to the growing pile of commentary. Another factor keeping the topic alive is how quickly online narratives can form. Once a storyline begins spreading, whether supportive or critical, it tends to grow as more creators and bloggers jump in to share their takes. Soon, the conversation becomes bigger than the original moment that started it. And that's exactly what seems to be happening here. What started as a debate about a dress at a fundraising event has expanded into a much broader discussion about expectations, leadership, and how pastors operate in a highly visible digital world. At this point, people across the internet are still weighing in. Some believe the criticism has been exaggerated, while others feel the conversation is completely justified. But one thing is clear, the topic has sparked a huge debate that shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. As the situation kept trending, the reactions from the public continued pouring in from every direction. By this point, the debate had spread far beyond the original photos from the gala. Now, people across social media, blogs, and discussion platforms were weighing in with their own interpretations of what the moment really meant. Some viewers said the entire situation shows how quickly the internet can turn one moment into a massive controversy. In their eyes, a single outfit at a formal charity event somehow turned into days of non-stop commentary, reaction videos, and debates about church leadership. Others pushed back on that idea and said the attention didn't come out of nowhere. They argued that when someone leads a large and influential church, people naturally expect a certain image and level of responsibility. Because of that, any public appearance tied to that leadership role is going to be closely watched. That difference in perspective is exactly why the conversation refuses to slow down. One group believes the reaction has been blown way out of proportion. The other group believes the discussion is necessary because public leaders influence how communities think and behave. And then there's another group watching all of this unfold with a completely different reaction. Some people say the debate itself reveals how much pressure pastors and their families face in today's world. With cameras everywhere and social media constantly watching, even small decisions can become major talking points overnight. Think about how fast everything moved in this situation. First, the couple attends a charity event meant to support education and raise millions for students. Then, photos appear online. Within hours, those photos are spreading across platforms, sparking thousands of comments and reactions. Soon after that, interview clips begin circulating. Bloggers and commentators start sharing their opinions. Reaction channels break down every detail. And before long, the conversation grows far beyond the original moment that started it. At the center of it all are Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant, who suddenly find themselves at the heart of a massive online debate. Supporters continue defending them and reminding people that the event itself raised millions for a positive cause. Critics, however, continue raising questions about expectations, public image, and leadership within large churches. To them, the situation represents something bigger than a single event or outfit. What makes this story especially interesting is how it reflects a larger shift happening across many communities. Church leaders today operate in a world where ministry, media, and public visibility are constantly overlapping. That reality creates situations where even routine appearances can spark unexpected controversy. And once the internet grabs onto a story like this, it tends to keep evolving. New opinions appear, old stories resurface, and the conversation keeps expanding as more people discover the topic. So at this stage, the debate has grown into something much bigger than the gala itself. It has become a wide-ranging discussion about modern church culture, leadership expectations, and how public figures navigate life under constant online attention.
I don't dress for people. I dress for myself and for my husband. I am a wife. Dress I felt was very appropriate for the occasion. We were not at a church event. We were at a black tie gala.
At this point, the conversation has taken on a life of its own. What started as a single moment at a charity gala has now turned into a full-blown internet debate that keeps growing every time someone new discovers the story. Every day, more clips, posts, and opinions are popping up as people continue sharing their thoughts. One thing that stands out is how divided the reactions have been. Some viewers are completely supportive of Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant. They say the criticism has gone way too far and that people are focusing on the wrong issues instead of recognizing the positive work being done through the church and the charity event. Supporters also point out that the UNCF Mayor's Masked Ball raised millions of dollars for historically Black colleges and universities. From their perspective, that achievement should have been the main headline instead of an online debate about fashion and expectations. But critics continue seeing the situation differently. For them, the discussion isn't just about a dress or a gala appearance. They believe it highlights a larger conversation about the image and behavior expected from leaders in religious spaces. Because pastors hold positions of influence, some church members feel those leaders should maintain a certain level of formality and restraint in public settings. That difference in expectations is where most of the tension in this conversation comes from. On one side are people who believe modern church leaders can still be stylish, visible, and active in public life. On the other side are people who believe church leadership should maintain a more traditional presentation at all times. And once those two viewpoints collide online, the discussion can quickly become intense. Comment sections fill with long debates, reaction videos break down every detail, and people start analyzing everything from clothing choices to interview responses. Another interesting part of this story is how quickly narratives form on the internet. Once a few influential accounts begin discussing a topic, it spreads rapidly across platforms. Suddenly, thousands of people are reacting to a situation they may have only just heard about. That kind of viral momentum often pulls older headlines and past controversies back into the spotlight as well. People start connecting previous stories to the current situation, creating long threads explaining why they believe the current controversy matters. At the same time, others step in to remind viewers that public figures often face intense scrutiny that can sometimes go beyond the facts. They argue that once someone becomes widely known, rumors and speculation can spread just as quickly as verified information. Still, none of that has slowed the conversation down. If anything, the ongoing debate has made the story even more visible. Each new post, reaction, and interview keeps the topic circulating across social media feeds. Right now, it's clear that the discussion surrounding Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant has become much bigger than the original gala moment. It has turned into a wide conversation about leadership, expectations, public image, and the way church culture interacts with modern media attention. And even after all the debates, reactions, and viral clips, the conversation still hasn't slowed down. If anything, the story keeps gaining new attention as more people discover the situation and start forming their own opinions about what happened. One reason the topic continues to trend is because it touches on something bigger than just one couple or one event. For many viewers, it opens up a wider discussion about how church leadership fits into today's culture, where everything can become public within seconds. Years ago, moments like this might have stayed within church circles or local communities, but today, a single photo or video clip can travel across the internet almost instantly. Once that happens, thousands of people who have no direct connection to the church still feel invited to share their thoughts and reactions. That's exactly what happened here. What started as a formal appearance at a charity event quickly turned into a national conversation across social media platforms. People who had never even heard of the gala suddenly found themselves debating the situation. Some voices continue saying the entire controversy shows how quickly people rush to judge public figures. They argue that clothing choices at a formal event should not overshadow the purpose of raising millions of dollars for students and educational programs. Others maintain that leaders in visible positions will always face higher expectations. From their point of view, public trust comes with certain standards, and those standards naturally become part of the conversation whenever leaders appear in high-profile spaces.
And then there are people watching the debate who are less focused on choosing sides and more interested in what the situation reveals about modern culture. They see it as an example of how quickly online discussions can grow far beyond the original topic. Because once a story starts trending, the internet begins adding layers to it. People bring up past interviews, old headlines, personal opinions, and broader cultural arguments. Before long, the discussion becomes much larger than the event that started everything. That pattern has played out again and again in this situation. Photos from the gala sparked reactions. Interviews added more commentary. Reaction videos and blog posts expanded the conversation even further. Now the story has become a full online debate about image, leadership, and expectations. Meanwhile, Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant remain right at the center of the spotlight. Every new clip or post connected to them continues drawing attention, which keeps the story circulating across different platforms. Whether people support them or criticize them, one thing is clear. The moment has sparked a conversation that touches on faith, culture, leadership, and the power of social media. Those kinds of discussions rarely disappear quickly once they start trending. So for now, the debate continues to grow as more viewers discover the story and add their voices to the conversation. And as long as people keep sharing clips, posts, and opinions, the discussion surrounding this moment is likely to keep echoing across the internet for quite some time. But for a lot of people watching this unfold, the issue was never just about a dress. Many critics say the outfit simply became the final spark that brought years of frustration and controversy back into the spotlight. In their eyes, the dress was only the icing on top of a long list of debates and headlines that have followed Pastor Jamal Bryant throughout his time in ministry. As the story spread, more voices online began saying the moment represents something bigger than fashion. Some critics argue that the public reaction is really about accountability and leadership. They believe that instead of dismissing the criticism, Bryant should acknowledge why this situation made so many church members uncomfortable. That perspective is exactly why the internet has been doubling down on the discussion. Comment sections and reaction videos are filled with people saying that this moment reflects deeper concerns they've had about Bryant's leadership style for years. To them, the gala appearance simply reopened conversations that had already been simmering in church circles and online spaces. Others went even further with their criticism. Some commentators claim that Bryant's sermons and public statements have sometimes raised questions about how he approaches spiritual leadership. Critics argue that the way a pastor lives publicly should match the message they preach from the pulpit. Several voices in the discussion also brought up Bryant's past relationships while explaining why they believe the current controversy resonates with so many viewers. For those critics, they see the situation as part of a larger pattern that has kept Bryant's personal life tied closely to public debate. At the same time, strong reactions from some religious commentators have also been circulating online. One outspoken bishop shared a harsh opinion about the situation, criticizing both the outfit and Bryant's decision to defend it publicly. According to that bishop, the image presented at the event did not reflect what he believes a pastor's family should represent. Comments like that quickly spread across blogs and social media pages, adding even more intensity to the ongoing debate. Some viewers agreed with the criticism, saying church leaders should be extremely mindful of how they present themselves in public settings. Others strongly disagreed with those harsh remarks and said the criticism crossed the line into unnecessary judgment. They argue that personal style choices should not erase the work someone does in ministry or community leadership. Still, one point remains clear throughout the entire situation. For many people following this story, the debate is not really about a single outfit at a charity event. Instead, it is turned into a larger conversation about expectations, image, and how spiritual leaders navigate life under constant public attention. And now the question has been thrown directly to the public. Some viewers believe the criticism is justified, while others feel the reaction has been exaggerated far beyond the original moment. So what do you think about the situation? Was the outfit appropriate for a pastor's wife attending that kind of event? Or do you think Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant simply faced an overblown internet reaction? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more discussions like this.